I just want to let you know these guys are going to be huge. I'm talking major label huge. These guys are going to be big. You're going to love them.
See, look at Emma's. Emma's is super
Emma's
loud.
is very loud.
It's just because Emma's a loud person.
You're right.
But that's okay.
It'd be like that. Okay, are we ready to start?
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome to episode 3 of Relatively Funny, the podcast. We are so happy that you're listening, and we are here with a new topic this week that is a little different from what we have been doing the past couple of weeks, and we're doing a joint discussion about the same topic. We are 2 sisters and 1 brother, sharing our interests with one another. I'm Emma. I'm Mackenzie.
And I'm Carson.
And before we get into our topic today, we're going to go over what we've been listening to this week and what we're drinking while we record.
Oh, good.
Oh,
we haven't
nice.
done that
Yeah,
yet.
that's good.
Today I was like, I want to drink a coffee. I want another one. And I thought, well, why don't we just share it on the pod?
Perfect.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who wants to go first?
I go first, I guess.
Okay.
Which I also want to toss in there that when I was listening back to our first episode, I realized that I did not call myself the middle child, and mine did not follow the same format as your guys's. Because I think of myself as like not the middle child anymore, because
yeah.
I think of myself, I called myself second oldest, which makes more sense to me. I realized that in this setting, I am the middle child, but everywhere else, I'm second oldest because I'm not the middle. So I was just like, yeah.
Should we go over all of our siblings then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So there are actually 6 of us. Surprise.
Bet you didn't know that.
So there's me, I'm the eldest, and then Mackenzie, then Carson, and then we have 3 younger siblings, Olivia, Charlie, and Colin. And yeah, they aren't really old enough to be on the podcast. They're all under or 15 and under, so
They will be one day, though.
yeah, I'm sure they'll probably make an appearance at
in.
some
Yeah.
point.
That'd be
but,
fun to do one with all of us, or like, bring in 1 or 2 of the kids, whoever
Yeah.
wants to join in on some things.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun.
I know
be really
Liv
fun.
would love to be
She
part
would
of it.
love it.
So
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah.
have to do that sometime. Have a cameo with
for sure.
someone in here on a topic that's
Yeah, we need a-
appropriate for
Yeah.
everyone.
A guest microphone. Do we have an extra?
We can get one.
Yeah,
we can
that's
do
true.
one.
It's
Yeah.
not
I don't
hard.
know
but
if we have another plug-in, but
Oh,
yeah,
we'll
we
figure
can
it
make
out.
it work. Yeah.
yeah, we'll figure it out.
yeah. Anyway, that was a random thing that I was thinking of, that I was like, I
I
forget
love it.
that I'm the middle child and I called myself second oldest, and that sounds weird. But yeah, so this week I have been listening to the very same things that I always listen to: SZA, Lotto, and Ice Spice, and that is literally a little bit of juice at the gym because we need that.
Oh yeah, you do. No.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's pretty much it, though. I've been making Anthony play his music when we drive in the car, though, so I can like edit my TikToks whenever I'm passenger princess. So we listen to Men I Don't Know. I don't know who we listen to. I was like, I don't know what they're called, but they're all
never
like
heard of them.
rappers.
Yeah.
Men I Don't Know. Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's just like random rappers that I don't know the name of.
Nice.
But yeah. Let's see what I'm drinking today. We went to Dutch Bros. I was gonna go to the gym, but I accidentally slept in until 9, which was wonderful. So we only had time to get drinkies and then prepare for the pod, which I loved. So I got an almond milk latte with sugar-free white chocolate, and then I just put a little bit of vanilla almond milk creamer in it too because it was not sweet enough. And yeah, that's what I'm drinking,
Nice.
and I have my water.
Good. Good.
Next.
So yeah, this week has been pretty crazy busy. But I feel like this has been like a week where I just haven't had to work, so it's been nice. I've just been doing a lot around the house, and so I've been listening to a lot more music, I think. But so many artists. I think The Cure and
Oh, nice.
Mazzy Star have been like the main ones, and then it's an old band.
Oh.
It's like they're just like chill music. Claro and Mitski and The National and
Nice.
just a lot of different people, but all very chill music.
Love that.
And yeah, that's about it. And then I'm drinking a strawberry banana smoothie with 2 scoops of vanilla protein powder.
Yummy.
It's so
Chalky.
good. It's so good.
No, I actually have the same vanilla protein powder that they use, and it's actually so good. It's really not chalky.
Yeah, no, it's not
That's
like
good.
it just
Yeah.
enhances the flavor.
Yeah. I could see that.
Yeah, it's amazing. I have one every day.
Nice.
I love that for you.
Thank you.
I am. So this morning we went to breakfast, and
Oh, cute.
Chris and I, he got like this huge meat bowl with like, it's the best way to describe it because it's
Meat
like
bowl.
meat,
You don't know what's
and then
in there.
the gravy from Biscuits and Gravy.
Oh, my.
Eggs, like potatoes, like just it's a mix of
Yeah.
everything that he loves, and
a
it's
man dish.
literally called the meat something.
Oh my
so
gosh.
Where'd you go?
the Huck,
Nice.
Oh, nice.
yeah,
Cut that out.
cut that out.
Yeah. I don't think anyone.
It's
would-
not helpful though because we're literally advertising like where we live right
Yeah.
there.
I guess it doesn't matter. It's fine.
Yeah.
Y'all
One day
can
maybe it'll matter.
figure us out. I don't know.
Yeah.
Triangulate our
Well,
location.
literally anyone can look up our names and
Yeah.
know where we live.
It doesn't matter.
I'm like
Yeah.
on my school's website.
Same.
yeah. That's terrifying.
Ruh-roh. Okay. So anyway, where were we?
What are you listening to?
Oh yes. I'm sorry. It's my
Oh
turn.
yeah, what'd you
Okay.
get for breakfast?
Oh, breakfast.
right, yeah.
Thank you. That's where we were. My brain was. Our brains are a little fried. We've had a very long week, so we're just kind of getting through it. So,
Yeah.
but no, I got two egg breakfast with hash browns and a biscuit, and that's
Oh,
just
they're
it.
biscuits.
Never fails me.
So
So it was a good one. And then, yeah, Chris got me a coffee before we went because he's so sweet and does that every morning. And I am now drinking a second coffee, and it is a white chocolate tiramisu mocha with lactose-free milk because, you know, if you know, you
Tommy
know.
doesn't like
So-
milk.
Yeah, but I have been listening to pretty much the same thing that I've been listening to the past 2 weeks, like still Bring Me the Horizon and Poppy.
I think we're doing some woodworking upstairs.
Yeah, what's happening?
That's the entrance to our room has a little creaky spot.
Oh, there it is.
So you can hear when Anthony's up in the mornings because it's the squeaky floor. I'm like, Tawny's up, and we get all excited.
We don't have a squeaky floor situation at our
Weird.
house.
I don't know why we do.
Wow.
Anthony's making his appearance on the pod just like he
Stomping around
wants.
over there.
So anyway, as I was saying before we were interrupted, Bring Me the Horizon and Poppy, but I've also been throwing in some Fall Out Boy from Under the Cork Tree, which is, I know I've said it once, but it is 20 years old this year.
That's
and that is
crazy.
insane to me. So
It's still just as good.
it
Yeah,
hits
oh, yeah.
all it hits just the same. So and also Alkaline Trio, and I also have their Blood, Hair, and Eyeballs album sweatshirt on. So representing today. So with that, we are going to be discussing today what we would contribute in the event of a zombie apocalypse. And I was thinking about this as I was writing my notes, and we've watched a lot of Walking Dead. Did you guys ever watch that with me?
I tried to avoid it
Yeah.
as much as possible.
I watched here and there with you, but
Uh-huh.
I've seen enough.
Yeah, I think I have too.
So I don't know how many seasons they actually made, but I watched up to season 10, which is crazy.
Dang.
I once they had that tiger in the
Okay, I did
episodes,
not know
like the
about that.
CGI tiger. I kind of was like, listen, listen.
It was good. Wow, it
Yeah.
was good.
There's so many
No, it's
shows
not
like
good.
that. Like
They get a little bizarre.
The 100. I don't know if you guys have seen The 100.
Just a
You should
little
watch
bit,
it.
Yeah.
I know
It's so
Roderick's
good.
in it, so I need to watch.
Roderick is in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is his name to me. He's
Yeah.
he doesn't have a name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Roderick.
It's the same way.
Roderick Heffley.
It's like, bro, I cut you some slack for what you did back then.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, I mean, yeah.
How many
Yeah.
One of those
seasons
things.
did they have?
7, I think.
Okay.
And it should have stopped at like 4. But but it's just fun, you know.
Yeah.
If you
It
just
is.
like have a good time with it, it's just fun. But
I do want to watch that show all the way through
shit,
eventually.
It's super cringe and so good.
Nice.
Those are the best though. So anyway, I watched a lot of Walking Dead in high school, and I would find myself thinking about, what we would do in the event of a zombie apocalypse situation. But I don't know if so I don't really believe that like zombies can be a real thing. Like, except watching The Last of Us had me think in a different way.
I was just gonna say, I've never thought that. All my nightmares have zombies in them. It's an apocalyptic
Interesting.
world. Well, it's not necessarily they have zombies, but there's an apocalypse. That's always my nightmares, and they're pretty frequent when, like, not frequent, like I don't have them a lot, but when they are frequent, it's always very similar. So, yeah, but watching The Last of Us with the like fungal disease thing,
Now
that's where I
that-
believe that, like, that actually, that's convincing.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Did you watch that, Cars?
I watched a little bit of
I
it.
watched a little bit too.
Just like 2 episodes, but
Who's the main guy in it? Because I love him.
Pedro Pascal.
Yeah,
everyone
loves him,
Yeah.
but
I
I
love
do
him too.
He's
And Bella
awesome.
Ramsey, I love her as well. Or them. I
Yeah.
think they are they, them.
It's-
Excuse me.
those shows like that, like Stranger Things and stuff, it's just kind of crazy, like how they blow up so fast. Like, and now, because I mean, Pedro has been acting for a while.
Oh,
But-
since like Game of Thrones and
Yeah.
before.
wow.
But now it's like, I think I don't know, that just took his fame to a whole new level, I feel like, with that show. And he was in another show too, I remember.
Oh, he's in so much.
Yeah, he is in so much. But anyway, yes, I did see a little bit of that, but also like stuff like Maze Runner had that similar thing, like the
Like
obviously-
virus.
Yeah, obviously all these
Yeah.
have connecting.
Which is horrifying because we've
Similarities.
literally lived through a pandemic and seen that like viruses are a thing that, is very catastrophic.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, very detrimental. So, and that was kind of what I was going into is I don't think that we'll ever have zombies in the horror movie trope type of way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I do think it's always possible that there could be an apocalyptic event.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible. Am I going to be a doomsday prepper about it and freak out? Maybe a little. I'm a little anxious that way. But,
Yeah.
Proactive.
You're so right.
there we go.
Yeah.
Proactive.
Especially with all the people we're protecting, like we
Right?
really have to prep here.
Yes.
True.
We got a big crew
Yeah.
to.
What did Chris say? Precious cargo.
Precious
Yeah.
cargo, yes. Yesterday when we were driving, Cars was in the back and Chris was taking a turn and the light had just turned yellow and he goes, I'm going slow, precious cargo.
Oh
And
my gosh,
he just
that's amazing.
Oh, man.
oh, he just loves you guys.
love
So
it. He's the
We love
best.
him
it was
too.
cute.
That's funny.
Well, I'm not to cut you off. I'm glad you brought that up because I was thinking like there are so many different situations where it's like, are we talking Walking Dead zombies or I Am Legend? That's a zombie movie, right?
That's like he's the last person on Earth,
Yeah.
right? He and his dog.
I think so. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm thinking of what's the one with Brad Pitt?
Oh, World War Z.
World War Z. Yeah.
That's
Not
a,
seen that
oh,
one.
those zombies run.
Yeah. Or
that one.
Zombieland. Have you seen those movies?
No.
Those are pretty good. And he it's kind of like a video game where they'll have like pop-ups of like different kinds of zombies and their weaknesses and stuff like
Oh
that.
my
So
god.
That's
there are lots of different
Crazy.
variations
That's
of
funny.
zombies,
Yeah.
but I'm glad we clarified it's like more apocalyptic
Yeah.
based, like survival.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like the basis is survival
Yeah.
and
Even though there's probably going to be some kind of threat within any of that, scenario.
whether it's other humans that
Yeah.
are trying to take your things
Yeah,
or
most
whether it
likely.
is some sort of virus apocalyptic event or the weather. I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh, right.
I
True,
think
yeah.
of I'll get into it. Have you guys seen The Day After Tomorrow?
No.
I haven't even.
Oh,
heard of
it's
that.
so
I
good.
think it's on my list.
Oh, it's so
it a
good.
movie?
Dennis Quaid, Emmy Rossum, Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, must watch.
It's
I'll watch it for Jake.
I love Jake.
It's so good. It's so good. And so anyway, we'll kind of get into that because
Yeah.
that plays into some of my like reasoning.
Ooh.
And
Cool.
and that has to deal with the weather. There's like this big freeze coming and they're all trying to shelter and stay alive
Yeah.
in this weather that basically if you step outside you're frozen solid. Like it's a crazy type of situation. And yes, it's really interesting.
That's how I feel right now with the weather.
Yeah, for real. It's so cold.
It
Even though
is
the sun
chilly
is
out
like
there.
shining today, it's like 20 degrees.
Yeah.
But it hurts to breathe.
It does.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
Which, before we start, I had one of those nightmares recently. Like,
Oh,
I
no.
think last week about the apocalypse, and Winnie gave us away, unfortunately, because we were like all together in this house that was like abandoned, and there was like very few people left on the earth, but we saw this couple drive by in a truck, and they just looked like menacing, like they were going to come get us. And of course I had some of my students with me, and we were trying to like get inside the house as fast as we could so they didn't see us. And one of my students was trying to zip up her coat, and I was like, come on, zip up your coat. And she was like crying and freaking out because she couldn't get it zipped. And I like zipped it for her, and we got inside. But Winnie here had to go to the bathroom, and she ran across the yard and like peed right over by this bush, and they saw us. And then I woke up. But
So Winnie's not
it's
coming
terrifying.
along. With
She's
us.
not invited unless she's in a front pack, which I will do.
Oh, Jaspy's got one of those too.
Yeah.
Don't worry. They'll both be in their
They're
little
loud,
like Mobies.
though. They're gonna give us away with their barks.
Not Jaspy.
Winnie will.
Winnie will for sure, but
don't know what to do about
Jasper
that.
gets
Oh, it's okay.
Jasper gets too scared and just retreats
Yeah.
into anything he can. So
Yeah, that's good.
and
have
he
to work
also
on
hates
that.
the cold, so if it's cold out,
Yeah.
no way is he doing anything. He's not making noise, he's not going outside. No thank you. He says no.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can both have them in front packs and
There you go.
we can do anything.
Yep, you're right.
And
I can
everything.
do whatever.
I can do whatever.
All of our inside jokes.
I dance all the time.
I dance all the time. So we're going to explain why we would be the best partner to have in the event of a zombie apocalypse based off of our skills, our knowledge, physical items, and mental preparedness.
I didn't know I had to argue. Here.
At the end, you can vote for who you would rather have on your zombie apocalypse team. And this is all in good fun. It's just meant to be lighthearted. You don't have to argue yourself.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to, like, give interview prepared questions to, you know, persuade us to have you on our team. But I know you're going to want me on your team at the end of this, so it's cool. I mean, I know it's going to be me. But I think we all bring something to the table.
Yeah.
So, and I think together, that's what would make us a really good team, is all together. So,
Agreed.
is she okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first topic we had in the list of, what was the
Scenarios?
list of?
Questions?
Scenarios?
It
Yeah.
was like different like brackets of like
a good way to say
preparedness
that.
for,
Okay.
you know, the zombie apocalypse. Like all the different potential ways you could prepare.
Okay. So number 1 is food and water. Who wants to go first?
I can go first.
Go ahead.
So, like you said, I'm not a doomsday prepper. I don't think any of us are, you know, necessarily. But I do have about 50 MREs in my room right now. And I think that
Oh,
would
wow.
be pretty good.
Yeah.
Just start
saved
off.
up
Okay.
from
Yeah,
Costco?
because we just get them.
Oh,
They just give us them. So,
That's
and I
very
always
helpful.
take them. And so, I think that would be good. And then I have like, I had a Christmas where I got like 10 life straws.
yes.
Yeah. And so I have like
You're
10
taking
life
my
straws.
top 2 ideas here.
And that's like all I got. Like, but I think, and then I don't know. Obviously, running water is, pretty, I don't know, easy to come by in our area.
Absolutely.
And
Mountain water, that fresh
Yeah.
running water.
yeah, and so I feel like, but obviously this is all like if it were to happen like tomorrow, you know, like
Yes.
I think it'd be fine.
Yeah.
I think that's what I would do, and then obviously protein bars, like those don't really go bad either, and you can throw a bunch of them in your backpack or whatever. So I think that's what I would do. Hunting, I've never gone hunting. I've gone fishing, and I've like prepared some fish with Jake, and that's about it.
Now, they
Nice.
would be great to have in a
They
zombie
would be
apocalypse.
You know
great
what?
eating salmon every day.
We'd
they
be
would
eating
like
good.
thrive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which also I have a very good partner that I want to talk about later.
Oh, okay.
That you might
Okay.
have on your list too, but I just thought it was funny.
Oh.
But should I go next for
Yeah,
food?
go for it.
Okay, well, mine is pretty much the same as Carson's. I was thinking, well, I don't know how much time we're potentially giving ourselves to prepare, but I would go get all those
Like tomorrow?
MREs from Costco. Yeah,
Oh,
you know what?
yeah.
I don't have those, so if we had time, I would go get them from Costco, but I do have a lot of protein powder.
There you go.
And those, that will help you, like, you know.
Get
You'll-
big.
Yeah.
We're bulking in the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, for real. Like, those will help you survive. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
just a little bit of protein powder can go a long ways. Protein bars will be good on. We're just going to hit the nearest garden and claim it as our own, I
Yeah.
think. So, because, I mean,
Yeah.
You have a green thumb.
yeah,
you
I
can
think
grow.
that would be my, like, biggest contribution is that I could help us, like, I could prepare food based on, like, you know, what we've got in the garden that we claim. Not that I have one, so I'm really not prepared, but we would have to go find a garden and take it over and it would be ours. And then we could claim all the food and start, you know, regrowing it. Yeah, aside from that, I'm going to not have to be vegetarian anymore because I think that
Yeah.
True.
I will die very quick if I'm trying to eat my greens.
You're over here picking leaves.
Yeah, for real. Yes, I think I'm going to have to start eating fish and some meat and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I'll just count on whoever's providing that for us to provide it. I mean, I don't think I could hunt, actually.
We could go crabbing too.
Yeah, crabbing is good.
Yeah.
We
You
know how to
That's a
do
good
that.
idea.
Some crab cakes.
Yeah. Get
Yeah.
some English muffins, mayo.
Oh yeah, I forgot you need other stuff for that.
We'll find some cheese and
Yeah.
some.
There you go.
Oh, you know, classic.
What about water though?
Oh, water, your life straws.
Rainwater?
You have enough for all of us.
You're gonna rob me?
Well, we're all in the same team. We can all take a sip off of the straw. That's fine. I'm counting on your life straws, Cars.
Okay, well, you may
Liquid
not have
IVs.
to just count on that. So we have other options.
Okay, go for
Is
it.
it my turn?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, listen up. I always have non-perishables in my pantry, first and foremost. Always. Not enough to sustain us all probably more than a few weeks, but we'd be okay. I have drinks, snacks, dry good, canned goods, things like flour, sugar, baking powder. We could make our own things if we needed to. I also know how to fish, how to preserve food. One of my favorite things that the wine and crime gals say are plan ahead, salt your dead.
Oh.
And
Don't know how that applies
it
here.
Just it refers to like salt preserves. And so if you salt something that's dead, it'll preserve it. So
So that applies to food as well.
yeah, specifically
Like-
yes.
Okay.
And let's see, where was I? I would also, if we were to do, this would depend on multiple situations going right. Like if we had a long-term shelter, if we had, the space and mostly the space because of, sound as well, is I'd love to get chickens or a goat
Aww.
because
Oh, yeah.
then you have
That's a good
eggs and you
idea.
have goat milk.
Oh my gosh, that's so smart.
And then I also know how to distill water and and we have life straws, and I also know how to just get, fresh water from natural resources and things like that. So
Wow, thank goodness you guys know that.
Yeah, but you're not on my team.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
I'm going off of reliance here for most situations.
When you brought up chickens, I was thinking the same thing with the eggs and stuff. But it also reminded me of the avian flu and
I know if we have
if-
any chickens left.
no, but what if that turned into the virus?
Ooh.
That'd be pretty cool.
Cool?
Not cool, but like that's. I don't know, like that's a good plot, like in a movie. I don't know, that's how
It
my
sounds
brain
like
works.
a Bob's Burgers plot where the chicken remember the
It's on Parks and Rec too.
Oh,
the
is it?
avian flu is how they prepare for that disaster preparedness plan. You know,
I just think of that turkey trot where all the turkeys like attack Linda
Yes.
and Teddy, and they're like trying to save the kids, and
Yeah.
and then Linda pecks the turkey in charge, and then she's the head turkey,
Oh,
and they all
yeah.
respect her
Oh.
at the end. So that reminds me
Yeah.
of that episode.
Similar.
I think it's
yeah.
Dawn of the Peck. That's the
Oh,
episode.
okay. I remember that title. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one. So, but that's what it reminds me of. It would be quite timely too, as we're talking about this. So, hopefully it doesn't happen. But
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like the plague with the rats, right? Didn't the the birds? Wait,
So-
didn't birds
I think rats
It-
had the
or
plague.
rats?
it was the rats, but
they carry
the
it?
rats were carriers
Yeah.
of
They didn't
like
start
they
it.
didn't actually like
Die from the.
give you the plague.
Oh.
It was from the fleas that were on them
Oh,
that
yeah.
carried it.
That's
And
right.
we were so I love talking about the plague, which is really bizarre, and I know that, but
It's just history.
I just find it so fascinating.
Yeah.
And so basically they were like the little transmitters because we were all so dirty, and you know,
Yeah.
the hygiene, it was like the fleas were there and they would bite you, and you'd
Wasn't there the bird flu, or the avian flu? But
bird flu. I don't know much about
I
what that
swear
would
there
be.
was one.
I mean, I'm sure.
There's a current avian flu.
Yeah.
It's killing the chickens.
I'll look it up later. But
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Nice. What's our
Well,
next topic?
Shelter. Same order, or
Yeah.
or do you need a
okay.
minute?
No, it's fine. I can wing it.
Okay.
Shelter, I think the most, I don't know. I think the best one would be to take over a shelter, like a house already standing, or a farmhouse or a store or something like that. Like, I think that would be the best. Just because I feel like if you go, I don't know, there's advantages to your location overall, like being secluded in the woods can be good and bad, like typically harsher environment and obviously more isolated, which is good. But if you have like a already standing shelter, I think that would be best, but you're probably going to find one in the city, I don't know. I think that's what I would do. I would just maybe make the house that I live in
Yeah.
my shelter,
Yeah.
or everyone wants to say like Costco or something, like,
Well,
That's on
yeah,
my list,
that's
too.
ideal,
but everyone's gonna be running there. It's so huge. There's so many
Yeah.
doors,
It's true.
and
so many blind spots.
if we've learned anything from this pandemic, I mean, toilet paper was gone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stuff's gonna be gone.
It's not even helpful.
It's
Yeah.
not.
You have to
It's-
go to like the factories where they,
Yeah.
create
Yeah.
it or supply it.
Seriously.
yeah, but I don't know. I mean, maybe probably just stay in my house for
Yeah.
until some of the chaos dies down, and maybe there's less people in one area. People
That is
disperse.
literally what I have written down.
Yeah.
And then go from there and maybe start sending out like 3-man teams to go scope out areas, and
I like it.
once we run out of food and resources and stuff, yeah.
So you,
Yeah.
Chris and Anthony. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Love that.
Amen.
Scouting mission, yeah.
Perfect. Well, I actually just thought of mine as we were talking about this, but now my new top choices probably would be the cabin.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you're like next to the water, that's a whole area that's a whole half where no one's gonna come get you. They're not gonna, hopefully no one's gonna travel by water, or if they do, you can see it coming.
But how do you get there?
On a boat.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully.
But what if the ferries aren't running?
Well, there's other ways to get to Whidbey without the ferry. There's a bridge
Oh, yeah,
on the
that's
other
true.
side
It
of the
is.
island.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
if you go up top, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you go in like another
It's
area,
gonna take
there's a
you
bridge.
like 7 hours at least, but
But you could get.
Then we
Your girl did not know
we
this.
can always cut off transportation for everybody else, and if we're the only ones on that island, then it's like
we're
But
cutting
then that
off
limits
transit?
our
that's
resources.
true. That's true. Or just have guards at the entrances. Like the ferries don't come anymore, but we have watch on all different like sections. But I don't know, because then we have like natural resources, like whatever's in the ocean. We have so much in the ocean.
Abundance.
Yeah. And then, you know, that's why so many people like way back when would like set up, you know, life right next to water because it gives you so many more options. So I don't know. I think being on the island would be really good, but I think up until then, I think it would be good to like just try to keep as much obviously in the cars so that till we know what's safe, we just have cars like Dad's van, all the different cars that we can have, like all of our reliable cars will be good options until then because we can just move really fast.
Yeah.
But then also you have to have gas and stuff, so I don't know.
That's the other problem.
That's the other really
is
hard
gas
thing, yeah.
And fuel.
Yeah.
Do you know how to siphon gas?
Nope. No clue. Do you? Mm-hmm. Oh. Of course you
It's
do.
not a tasty thing,
Yeah.
but you do it if you have to.
I didn't even know that I don't know what that means, but
So you basically take like a hose and you put it in there and you like suck it out.
oh.
Until it starts.
Yeah, until
flowing.
you don't just drink
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
but
Just-
What?
you like
And then you, like,
suck on the
yeah.
hose and then it starts coming and then it just like kind of goes.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
I did not
Yeah.
know that.
But I like that you brought up Woodby. I mean, obviously that's
I hadn't even thought about it till like
great.
10 minutes ago.
Like a great
but-
spot. And I think ocean life would just thrive without many humans
Yeah, that's true.
using
Oh my gosh.
all
Yes.
the resources and stuff. But so like I said,
Absolutely.
crabbing and fishing would be
Oh yeah.
so good.
We would
So
be-
good.
Yeah. Healthy eaters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay,
We would be
sis.
buff and healthy.
Yeah, protein powder and crabs and fish. Perfect.
All right. So
She's so prepared. I'm terrified.
I've read that shelter in place is the safest bet in the event of a zombie
okay.
apocalypse. People
Yeah.
will be fleeing. There will be chaos. I mean,
That's true.
And so, granted, my resources are fictional. However,
Thank God, honestly.
Yeah, true.
well, however, in like The Walking Dead and stuff, and even we've seen it in events, you know, even the natural disasters, people trying to leave as fast as they can, you get stuck.
It's
At some
true.
point, you get stuck somewhere. So, to me, I think it's best to just wait for everything to die down. You find your people, you gather together, and then
whose
if
house would we even gather at though?
well,
Like everybody's.
if you can't stay home for whatever reason, then I think we find a place that offers space and warmth for that
Yeah.
exact reason. So this relates back to the day after tomorrow again, but they found a library.
Oh.
And this was cool because it was sad because they used some of the books for kindling, like
Yeah, of
to
course.
keep their fire going because
Yeah.
they had to keep it going to fight off that like crazy freeze that was coming in. And but it was cool because they also had all those resources from the books, like
Yeah.
someone
yeah.
gets an infection, like you look up what you do for that infection, right?
Oh my
so
gosh.
my thoughts are you could stay in a space like that because it's
The high
also
school. High school.
oh god.
That'd be terrifying.
It would be
It'd
terrifying.
be awful, but it'd be a good space.
It would be
I
a
mean,
good
each
space.
classroom could be a room
Or like
for
any
someone.
school.
Yeah, any
yeah,
school,
and you can
honestly.
hear the echoes of
Yeah.
people.
We should go to Washington. That's a nice place to stay.
I'll go there.
Yeah.
And they have all of those non-perishables that are in the,
And the doors are
lunchroom.
locked.
And we have the
True.
keys. At least I do.
Fobs.
My fob opens up everything in the district.
Is that how mine is too?
Wow.
I have a
It
fob
shouldn't
for
be.
my building.
It should
Oh.
just be your building in the
That's sad.
district office.
Oh.
So, you know, just
Okay.
curriculum things.
Yeah, at least you have one.
Yeah, so we'd be good. But also, in the event of an apocalypse,
bad.
I don't think anyone is going to be monitoring those electronic systems. So
Yeah, that's true.
Pretty sure we'd be able to get it anyway.
Yeah.
But there would be ways to keep us safe and warm. So that's also a great idea. I also think finding a farm or like a deserted farm area would be good. We live in an agricultural area that I think it would be easy to find one, especially if everyone is leaving anyway, or fleeing. It would be easy to kind of swoop in and
Totally.
take something over.
Yeah.
I also think, like you guys have talked about and what we've talked about before, finding shelter on an island, and it would give us opportunity to fish, but also collect berries.
Yeah.
And build a strong shelter where there aren't too many people.
You guys, all those years of fort building will come in
Oh my
so
God.
handy
Oh, yeah.
from the boys. That brick
The
Well,
brick.
buried in there.
And so I was going to say, obviously a store would be ideal, but I feel like it's too obvious,
Yeah,
and
it's
so many
true.
people will try to shelter there. But regardless of where we go, if we have Christopher, we're fine.
Yeah.
Because that man, he can build a shelter, he can build reinforcements, and he has a great sense of direction.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I think we're
Yeah.
good. I
Yeah.
mean, between you and Chris and, all the other,
We have a lot of smart people. That
A lot of
know,
smart
We
yeah.
do.
with lots of different skills.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we'd be good.
Yeah, that's so true. Like, I think we'd be pretty well set
Yeah,
up.
like thinking about all of the people that we would gather together in that event, like, one of my secret weapons is Chris's dad too, because he's got an
Shout out to Keith.
arsenal
Yeah,
and
he
so many
does.
skills that could come in handy.
Yeah.
Like between all of the people we have lots of strong people, lots of mentally strong people, and lots of very skilled people. Like, and those resources are going to be so helpful.
Oh, yeah.
We just need to find a big enough shelter for all of us.
That's the key
Yeah.
right there. So
I don't know why this kind of hyped me up. Like,
Yeah,
Let's
but
do
we
it.
got this.
bring it on.
Yeah. Which I'm sure everyone in their family feels like that, but also
Yeah.
like I feel a little bit especially like that because we've got a big family and lots of people
Yeah.
who are very well trained and a lot of skills that don't come in handy all the time but will really come in handy here.
especially the boot
True.
camp training that
Yeah.
Chris and Kars have had.
Yeah.
I mean that
And the fact that like all of our men know how to work on cars and stuff too and like
The
do a lot of
mechanical
like
aspect.
handyman things. Yeah. It's going to be amazing.
well, and Chris, he has furniture that he's built before. He did
Yeah.
work
Yeah.
like woodworking for 4 years in high school, and he built cabinets for his teacher. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
he
Crazy.
like
Same with Joel, too.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like we've got
Uh-huh.
some really skilled people.
Yeah.
So
Love it.
I think it would be good.
And everyone's so studied up on Cobra Kai too, the hand-on-hand fighting.
Who needs a weapon?
Perfect.
Well, that's
Yeah.
our
We have
next.
swords everywhere.
That's our next topic is weapons
Yeah.
and defense.
That's
so let's
Perfect.
scoot into that then.
Good.
Continue.
All right, Cars, you want to go?
Sure. I think guns are going to be the
Yeah.
best bet. Like, nothing beats long range, I think. Obviously, if you have a good shelter, that's going to be key. And that's kind of my thinking with shelter, too, is like, you want somewhere where you can see 360 view
Yeah.
around, have the high ground for sure. And so when you mentioned this store, I think it would be cool to have a store that you know of near you that you can maybe keep an eye on,
Oh,
if
for
you
sure,
do need to
yeah.
resupply and stuff like that. But yeah, I think guns, we have a decent amount of guns and we have quite a bit of ammo, so that's good. But
Well, and we all have people who are very skilled and knowledgeable and know how to safely and effectively use these weapons as well, which I
True.
think is the most important
Yeah,
thing. is
exactly.
that safety and effectiveness aspect of it so that you aren't, wasting resources.
yeah,
And
that's true. Like every weapon that we do have, like we know how to use them.
Yes.
And that's most important because if you don't know how to use it, then
there's no point.
Yeah,
You're
it's-
just,
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
and then I don't know if you were serious about the swords. I can't. We have swords around.
oh, I was serious. I'm serious.
Well,
That's one
like,
of my points.
I have a
They're
couple
like
swords.
fake swords. I don't know if we have one of. Oh yeah, we've got like an anime sword right
You
over
have
there.
swords? Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
behind
that's
my
true.
plants.
Yeah, that's where I keep my swords.
Yeah.
Too, yeah. I have a couple swords. What do I have? I have like a ninja star, but
That's badass,
You've
though.
held
If
that
you
for
could
so
use
long.
a ninja
Yeah.
star.
Right.
it would suck though because then you have to like go get
Go
it
get
every
it.
time.
Yeah.
But I think if you have a bow and arrow, that'd be
Yeah,
awesome. I don't
be
have
so
one.
cool.
I want to do that, but I don't know. I think guns are gonna be the best, and You could be like Michonne if you want with the sword.
Yeah.
Right, that's her name?
Sorry.
I don't know. I think with shelter, like if you could build like some sort of defense or like a sturdy fence,
Barricade or
perimeter,
something, yeah.
some
Good.
wire traps, maybe get an electric fence. That would be amazing.
yeah.
How would you get that to work?
I don't know. Chris.
Batteries? Chris?
Chris could do it.
Obviously, you just need
figure it out.
You would need some sort of source and then just a conductor, and you're
Yeah,
chilling.
is there some way we could build like a fire
Wire
fence?
for sure. Fire
Generator?
fence.
Like,
That'd
just-
be sick.
I don't know.
We need a lot of things
You'd
to
need a
burn.
source.
Yeah. I'm trying
And then
to
obviously,
think
if you're
of
on an
like,
island, that would be sick because that
Yeah.
just eliminates so many people
Right?
coming over. But
yeah.
yeah, I think guns and close range, even like
Yeah.
kitchen knives when it gets down to it.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, one of my, if we're okay with me moving into mine,
Yes,
I mean, I
go
was
for it.
going on to obviously guns, which is where Chris and Chris's dad and dad has guns in the shop and stuff, and everybody's got, you know, weapons of that kind. I was also thinking hair curlers and straighteners for close contact, which honestly would come in so handy if you're trying to protect your home and someone is really like whatever threat is close to you. No one's gonna survive like a hair straightener. No one, you know, or like
Could survive a hair straightener.
well, no, but like not. No one's gonna keep coming after you if you've got a hair straightener that can clamp onto them. You know, I really think that's a good weapon. Molly came up with
A la
it years
Molly,
and years
yeah.
ago.
I don't
so.
know enough about it.
Yeah.
I've never.
I think that would, as someone who
Used one.
would not be able to like wield a sword, or you know, I don't think I could be a very effective protector with hand-on-hand combat. I think that a straightener would be a great option for someone like me if it came down to it, you know, or a curling iron or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, just my way of thinking.
I have
But-
another tool for you. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. My first line of defense is just, you know, the people who know how to use the weapons that we have are ready with the weapons that we have.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Not much to offer here.
You know what would be sick is it someone in Kyle's family? I think they maybe not.
His-
It's someone that we know.
You know, that would
Ooh.
probably be the place
I mean,
to
that
go.
would be
Yes.
with those people. right
Honestly.
there.
Courtney has chickens and
Oh, true. Yeah.
they have like ATVs and
And you can see all around them.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's where we go.
But
we have some resources.
That's a lot.
someone
We'd have to put a lot of people in that house.
someone refills their own ammo.
Yeah, Kyle does. Yeah.
Oh, Kyle does. Okay. Yeah.
Oh my
He has
god.
his
That's
own
so
like
clutch.
spot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could do that.
I need him to teach me. I'm gonna set that up.
Yeah, you should. It's really cool. The room
Yeah.
is awesome. So
All right, sis.
So, I like to think I have a good idea of what weapons would be best to use in the event of a zombie apocalypse.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
She's been really needy.
That's okay. We'll mute her.
She just wants all of her toys dumped out, which is a little inconvenient.
So, you want a weapon that's lightweight, easy to use, quiet, and effective. Given the situation and circumstance, depending on where you are, like obviously if we do have the space, like, you know, firearms would be fine. But if you are needing to be quiet and like sneaking up on people a la The Walking Dead, right? Like, I think, of course, Michonne's katana or Negan's bat with nails in it. That one does some damage.
I'd call that the Steve
Yeah,
Harrington.
Steve.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I just think of Negan because
Yeah.
it was so terrible. Oh, that was just. He was horrible with that bat, and he had a name for it too. I can't remember what it was.
Ew.
He wasn't even good with it.
Oh no,
Oh,
he was
really
great
good.
with
Okay,
it,
okay.
and it was
He used it
bad
horribly.
Okay.
because he was horrible.
Oh, okay.
So I don't have any of these items right now.
We could make that with, like, you know, if we needed to.
Even just a 2x4. That'd be fine.
Yeah.
Take someone out with a 2x4.
Yeah.
Chris
But
could whip that together real quick.
oh, certainly. And I think Chris has a sword somewhere too, like a real one.
Yeah.
So yeah, so kind of like we talked about, I know the first instinct is to go to firearms, but once you run out of ammo, you can't really do
Yeah.
much with them. So I'm just thinking of alternatives. Like Daryl's crossbow would be a great weapon as well because you can continue to make your own bows even if you run out. Like that's
Oh,
another
okay.
option as well. But those are really, I mean, weapons and defense are not my strong suit. Mine is more of the shelter and you know, care and all of
Yeah.
that stuff. So, but I think we have some strong people in our family who know much more about that than I do. So, yeah.
Yep.
But I think a bat would be great for me. I think that'd be a great tool.
I think I
Yeah,
could do
yeah.
that too. A bat would be fine.
I think, yeah, it'd be cool, like, establish what weapons everyone has and then, like, train with them and get good at them. And,
So wait, are we gonna doomsday prep now?
no. Like, once this
We have
happens,
training sessions.
we get stuff down and be like, hey,
Sure.
wake
Before
up.
the podcast is training session.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think, yeah, those are all good things. Like, there are so many just, like, even household things. Like, I don't know. It would even be cool. This just popped in my head. Like, in the winter, we all have, like, skis and snowboards and stuff to get
Ski
around.
poles. Oh, that would be cool.
Like, yeah, if we're, like, up in the mountains or something.
Yeah.
And,
That's under transportation. That's coming up.
I'll save it. I'll save it. for
Save
that.
it. Save those ideas. Those are great.
Thank you.
The next one is first aid and medicine.
Perfect.
Go ahead, Cars.
So, I think first aid might be my specialty.
You are a very strong competitor in this.
Thank you.
Yes.
I think just trauma based. That's going to be the main one. That was just the emphasis of my training, and yeah, I mean, I have quite a bit of resources, but also just I don't know. They emphasize so much about just like resourcefulness when you're in a situation like in the, I don't know, when a trauma happens, like, you got to do what you can. If it's a dirty rap or whatever, like,
Right.
it's going to be better than nothing. But yeah, just having the basic skills of that, I think, are the best. And then medicine, I know a fair bit about, but I don't have any. Like, the thing is just having it, you know, like, we could always go to a store or something, but they only have, unless it's with a pharmacy, they only have what's legal to give over the counter and stuff. But
right.
yeah, and then just wound care, that's pretty good at that too. But I think just more than anything is having the stuff. And I have a decent amount of stuff that I was able to commandeer
Oh,
Through your training.
through my training. Yeah, so yeah, I'd like to
that.
think I'm pretty good in that department. But
yeah.
more than anything, I think Joel would be
Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
the main
Clutch.
man for this. And yeah,
Yeah. I think they're, I mean, him and mom too just come with a wealth of knowledge that is not common knowledge with like
Yeah.
dealing with traumas and stuff in the ear. And obviously your training too, Cars, and Anthony works with
oh yeah, of
Oh, yeah,
course.
the
Anthony
medical
too.
field too.
Duh.
Yeah. But
Yeah, he's gonna be good. Doesn't he do like? I don't know. I feel like I've heard him say like maybe not splints and stuff.
he's done some wound care
Yeah.
when he needs to, but that's not like what he does on the regular. He does a lot of like, you know, checking vitals and
That's still important,
oh,
though.
totally
Oh, yeah,
important.
that's super, yeah.
And just knowing what, you know, is expected in certain
Yes.
situations is huge. Or like what's normal given certain circumstances. Yeah, I don't particularly think that wound care would be a specialty for me or medicine in general. I just get a little bit woozy with wounds and such. But I do think that emotional support wise, I could do a
There
great
you go.
job because I deal with a lot of young kids going through things that they feel like are extremely traumatic that are not.
Yeah.
Or like just staying calm when things do go wrong. Like if someone's throwing up, it's kind of just like, okay, and we just like move on and we support. So I think emotional support would be a good specialty of mine in any kind of trauma-based thing. I do a pretty good job of staying calm when things go crazy, I feel like. So
Yeah,
I think
that's
that would
really
be good. But yeah, otherwise my top skills are, I have some ibuprofen and I have some sterile spray for piercings and such. So those could come in handy. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So I know basic first aid and CPR, and I have more than enough rubbing alcohol and hydrogen peroxide.
Oh, true. Oh, yeah, I do
That's
too. That's true.
Clutch. Yeah.
I'm also really weird about getting sick. If I'm sick, I don't want to feel it, but I also don't want to take too much medication. So I know a lot of natural remedies as well to try to like ease symptoms. Mostly I think my main support would be like any illness or sickness or like easily treatable, viruses, things like that, as well as, any injuries as well. We all call my purse the Mary Poppins bag because I have everything we'd need in there. So think about that, but on a much larger scale in my home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got everything.
Yeah.
I have bandages, wraps, for lacerations and sprains. I'm also not afraid of gore. I know how to sew, so if anyone ever needed stitches, that steri strips wouldn't help.
Yeah.
I could stitch someone up if I needed to. Calm in a crisis is also just something that I think I bring as well. It depends on the crisis.
Yeah.
If it's not me,
I
then
was just
it's
gonna
fine.
say, if something's happening to me, I am far from calm. But if it's for
Yes.
other people, we're fine.
Yes, unless it's me, in which case I will, have issues. Oh, and Dad's calling me. We should probably pause.
Yeah.
While we had this intermission, I was able to think of some stuff, but like when you brought up sewing, like I had a chance to actually do some stitches on like cadavers and stuff in my training and
Really?
some blood transfusion
Wait,
stuff.
cadavers? Like
Yeah.
real
Oh,
cadavers?
whoa.
Yeah.
That's crazy you've seen that, Cars.
Yeah, and we did. Oh no,
Wow.
I'm gonna mess this up. I can't remember the name. Oh, a cricothyroidotomy, which is the same as like
Crike?
Yeah, cric.
Wow.
We got to do them on cadavers. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's
I'm
crazy.
so impressed
And
right
so-
now.
I can't believe you've done that.
Cadaver?
Yeah, and so a lot of the stuff we did like was trauma based and like in the field environment, but since being at this other unit, like I've been just like doing like ER work too. So it's been a nice working with like a lot of nurses and stuff. So it's been just really fun to do all that. And obviously IVs, we did IVs every day. I still have
That's great.
still have a messed up tendon from an IV.
One of your friends.
Yeah. My buddy, who I always got paired with, and he could never. And I have good veins too, so.
Oh no!
And he had little
awful.
baby veins, and I
You
got him
could
every
still do
time,
it.
and he could never get me. But anyway, just
Ouch.
thinking about that stuff, it's
So,
fun.
and that's so funny. When I worked in case management with the nurse case managers, we, for some reason, got on the topic of zombie apocalypse and like what we would bring
Oh.
to the table, right?
Yeah.
And one of the nurse case managers was like, well, you can buy like IV bags and you can buy like the tools to do an IV on someone. And she was like, it'd be cool if you had that, because if you ever had someone who was dehydrated or
yeah.
very, very ill, like,
yeah.
and she was like, especially me being, I mean, she had her, she's an RN BSN, so she is like all of the training, and she's been in the field for a long time, and it was just really cool to hear her perspective on some of the
Yeah.
medical side,
Oh, yeah, I
the
bet.
medical
For sure.
pieces of it. So, I was like, so then of course we were looking up like saline bags and things like that, and it's
Yeah, there's a lot of people who like when they're in college doing nursing programs, they like
Yeah.
have that kind of stuff and they use them on their friends for like,
when they're hungover.
when they're hungover for
Yeah.
recovery and stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah, in the ER, anytime they get like a nursing student, they'll be like, all right, we're gonna see how good you are at IVs, like because they're
Oh my
gonna
gosh.
be doing a lot
Yeah.
of them, and they'll just like do it to each other. Like,
Crazy.
yeah.
It's
Ugh,
so interesting. I know I hate the thought of it, but
I hate
You know-
needles in my body.
if you needed it to, you know, get better and survive,
Oh,
then
yeah, for
you
sure.
do what you need to do, right?
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a great thought. So I think we finished up primarily the first aid and medicine, so we can move on to clothing and gear. But before we do that, I would like to pause and let everyone know that today we're sponsored by Angus Auto. You can go to angusauto.com for quality merchandise and automotive content. And you can use the code FAM10 to get 10% off. Thank you to Angus Auto for your support. Back to the show.
Perfect. What's the topic again?
Clothing and gear.
Clothing and gear. Okay. Well, I think cold weather is really going to be the main one. Yeah, I mean, just staying dry and warm. Because I mean,
That.
but also in the heat, you know, you don't want to get sunburn or be exposed to the sun too long, but not really a big problem if you have a shelter. So I think just having like Under Armour and stuff like that, coats and whatnot. Obviously, if you have the room for it, like I'm assuming we have a shelter set up.
Yes.
I would bring over what I need. Yeah, I mean, just going outside in the winter like we do, having the stuff that we have, like it's so much better than if we lived in like Florida or something where we probably wouldn't have that stuff or as
Yeah.
much of it. Just like coats and hats and gloves and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't think I would plan too much for that.
Yeah.
Oh, and then gear. I have a lot of backpacks and bags, and I love that. I love my bags, and yeah, I mean, I don't think you'd really need.
Winnie ASMR.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I have all my army gear, so I think
Oh,
that
yeah.
would be pretty useful.
That alone.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much. I think that's honestly.
Well,
I'd
your
probably just rock my
military
uniform,
gear.
like
Oh yeah.
Honestly?
and stuff. Like
Yeah, you've had to be in a lot of different conditions in it too.
Yeah,
so
true.
I feel like
And that's what it's meant for.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, it is. Yeah. So I think that's all. I would just get all that stuff and all my pocket knives and
Yeah.
multi tools and stuff, and
Yeah, I feel
load them
like-
up in my bags.
Yeah, we're pretty lucky that we live in a place that has 4 seasons because we pretty much have the worst of all of those.
Yeah.
I mean, not to like the extent that places that get super hot or super cold do, but we do have like a multitude of. We have quite a range, so
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
prepared for like summer and winter. And especially growing up as like skiing and snowboarding kids, we have all the cold weather things that we could need and
Yeah.
a lot of tools on how to like and knowledge on how to just like stay dry and warm, and
For sure.
we would need
yeah.
a lot of like little hand warmers and stuff. But I think those would, those come in handy a lot. And yeah, I mean, summer doesn't get too hot around here, where if you're outside and you have water, you're gonna be fine. But
Yeah,
if we
yeah.
have a shelter,
It does
We're
get
gonna be totally
into, for perspective though, we do hit triple digits.
yeah,
So,
that's true.
which is pretty warm.
Yeah.
And then we can hit negatives as well. Can. I don't know if we really have, but we can.
you can come down.
I was looking for my jacket.
Oh,
But I think that gives perspective into what we mean by like 4 seasons. We get up to hundreds, but also we can get way, way down into the cold. So
yeah.
But
And
it's,
if we're
it's
here,
a dry heat though.
it is dry
Yeah.
heat, correct.
if we're staying close though, that's as bad as it's gonna get
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
most part, and we
Right.
can handle it with just what we have.
Absolutely. I was just giving the perspective.
Are you doing ASMR?
No,
Where are you going?
going to the store.
Oh, okay.
Just why do you think that was so funny, Cars?
It was such
It
a
was so
loud
loud.
zip.
Exaggerated.
Yeah.
Vocal.
I love it.
Oh my gosh.
Good driving.
Have so much fun at the
you.
store.
Leisures.
Goodbye.
Hang out, you guys.
Love you.
Alright.
Bullying us in his own house.
Yeah. He loves Sibelius.
Yeah.
Should we wait for the garage door to open and close?
I think it's open.
It's already open.
I
Should I
forgot
go?
what we were talking. Yeah.
Maybe we wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be interrupted again.
He's very loud. He doesn't
Yeah.
realize it, but he's loud.
I'm like, sir.
The
They're running down the stairs. I'm like,
I know.
Shh.
Quiet is not a thing.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I was gonna say something about
Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
the weather. It didn't get that hot this year.
No.
It really
Or-
it only got over 100 like a couple times.
No, I know for us, like, that's not crazy, but I just think anyone who could be listening,
Yeah.
you know, might not necessarily get that hot or that cold. So I think the perspective of, like, where we live has that big range with all 4 seasons, with
Yeah.
snow, with sun,
Yeah.
with, you know, I mean, it's, I think it's just good perspective to give.
For sure, and I think the cold is always going to be the worst one. Like, I don't know.
It's always the hardest.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
hard to get warm,
Yeah.
but it's fairly easy to cool down.
Yeah.
You know, because you could go swimming, you could
Yeah.
go in a river, you could
the
go in the
shade.
Yeah.
ocean, in the shade.
But luckily, we all have like snow pants, ski coats, and multiple of each of
Boots.
those.
I think
Yeah.
for the most
shoes
part.
are gonna be crucial, too.
Boots are very important.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. On top for like other kinds of gear though, like I kind of forget about that. Like bags and stuff are important, but hopefully we'll have vehicles to store a lot of our stuff if we're traveling.
Yeah.
If we have the fuel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that goes into the transportation piece, which is after this one, so that'll be
Yeah.
good to talk about.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
So that was my first sentence as well, was we live in a climate where we get 4 seasons. So we have everything from snow gear to swimsuits and plenty of extras. So Chris and I have a lot of camping gear as well. We have camping chairs, cots,
Oh,
tents,
yeah.
sleeping bags, small propane stove, and I mean just about anything you can think of. We have a lot of 8-person tents. Like I know,
Wow.
I know the idea would be to find a strong structural shelter, but you know, in the event of anything, you know, it's good to know that you have, you know, cots and sleeping bags and tents and, you know, a small stove that literally fits in a backpack. Like it's a funny little
Yeah,
propane
that's
like
crazy.
tripod thing, and
Yeah.
but it's cool, and we have really good hiking backpacks that can fit a lot in those for fast getaways if
Yeah.
necessary.
Oh, yeah.
you know?
That's nice.
So, and like one of those running backpacks with water that holds water,
Oh,
Camelback,
Camelback,
yeah.
That's really nice.
So I think we have, and that was all from, you know, Chris's dad, who is
Yeah.
who is, you know, a wealth of knowledge and items and survival
Yeah.
items, I think would be the best way to put it.
And Dad too has so much of that
Oh
kind of
yeah,
stuff.
so much camping gear, which is great because that's essentially surviving in a zombie apocalypse is just a long-term camping.
Yeah,
you know? I
yeah.
mean,
Yeah,
it
in
really
certain
is.
Yeah.
circumstances.
Yeah, and even if you are sheltering in place, like you'll still have to keep the place warm. You'll have to
Yeah.
get fresh water. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
you'll
true.
have to figure it out. So,
Yeah.
it would basically be just long-term camping,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
in a cabin of sorts. You know, if you
Yeah.
were to shelter in place. So,
Yeah. oh my
yeah.
gosh.
but yeah, I think we all bring some good stuff
Oh,
to the
yeah.
table. So, but the next piece is transportation. So take it away, Cars. You had some good ideas.
Yeah, I think cars are going to be, you know, if you can get the fuel for that. If it happened right now, I think I have like a quarter tank, so I'd be screwed. But
We wouldn't go far.
yeah, well, hey, I mean, my mile per gallon's pretty good,
That's true.
but not a whole lot of room. I think we do have a lot of vehicles. Like
We have a
Jeeps.
lot of cars,
We have
yeah.
your Jeep. We have Haley's Jeep. I think Haley's Jeep would be sick for
That
a
would be
rugged
Right.
so cool.
Yeah,
vehicle. And
it'd
the
be cool.
4Runner.
That
Oh,
4Runner
yeah.
too. That thing is like
We could live out of our cars, worst case
Yeah,
scenario,
yeah.
too, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And the van, of
easy.
course,
The
that's, like,
van, yeah.
Van
that's
would be
super.
ideal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that would be awesome. I feel like gas would be
Not a huge factor.
For the first couple like months, I think you would be able to get it still. After that, though, it's like
Yeah, I don't even know.
gonna be harder to find.
Yeah.
And it doesn't stay, like, it's not, you can't keep gas long term because it doesn't
Yeah.
stay
Good.
good.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's so weird.
So it's like you could prep and fill up, you know, like
Gas.
jugs of gas, but it wouldn't necessarily stay good. I mean, you could use it in a pinch,
so we
but
need a
Yeah.
Tesla.
How are you
no.
gonna charge it?
Yeah, that's
No.
I have no idea how
No,
that
we
works.
don't.
Yeah.
And we didn't.
I would rather not have a
Just
car
blow
than
up.
have a Tesla.
Have a bike?
Amen. Yeah.
Oh, honestly, a bike. If you have a
Yeah.
mountain bike.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well,
and
that
you're
was
by
on my
yourself-
list,
okay,
but all
sorry.
right.
Okay,
No.
let me see here.
Hoverboard.
I was thinking of hoverboard.
Heelys,
Wheelies.
Longboard.
Yeah.
rollerblades.
But I mean,
Honestly, rollerblades could be really
pretty
helpful.
just, like, you just like dual wielding.
Yeah.
On a,
Depending on where you
rollerblades.
are, if you hit grass,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
screwed.
You ain't grass.
oh, we hit grass.
For like, you know, some things they would be extremely
Yeah.
helpful.
When I pictured the apocalypse, I picture like roads are like
Yeah.
gone. There's like
Yeah.
debris
I know,
everywhere.
yeah.
Like so.
Rollerblades actually would not be helpful.
Yeah, they might be out the window, but also a boat would be good.
Yeah.
That
I
is
mean,
good.
it's hard to
Honestly,
get to
that would
someone if
be-
they're on the water, you know.
Yeah. Like a cruise ship.
Like, just
If they
have-
had endless
Cruise
fuel.
ship.
No, I
You
was
know,
thinking that
no
when we
one
were
could get
thinking of
to you.
shelters. Massive.
Well,
And-
sure, but who would run it?
You don't need
Some
to run it.
autopilot.
Oh, okay.
You just
I don't know.
float. You just float on the ocean.
How I just push my nose in
Or
really
sailboat.
hard with my
Yeah.
nose.
Sailboat, but they don't have much room.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to have
Houseboat.
a sailboat though. Houseboat.
Are you good?
I think so.
And then skis,
Just like hit it really hard.
Skis. Oh, snowshoes would be
Hmm.
good, but skis would be good just for the winter
Mm-hmm.
time, you know. But what else was I gonna say?
Sorry, it just oh.
It's okay.
Jeez.
I think having like a boat docked with some
Oh, yeah.
supplies
That'd be
in
great.
there just in case.
Yeah, houseboat.
Yeah, but
Pretty cool.
I mean, I think honestly, just having stuff ready to go to grab a backpack and start hiking, go for a little ruck, and I think having like a backup shelter would be a really good idea too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Just like okay, like it's almost like a fire plan. Like okay, we gotta
Right.
get out of here, grab your pack, and we're going to the place. We'll
feel
meet
like-
you there maybe.
This whole plan has made me less sure on what we're actually
Meet
gonna
me
do.
at
We have
our
so many
spot.
options.
Yeah. You know,
But that's
okay.
okay.
I'm so sorry. I remembered what I was thinking about for the gear.
Oh.
You know what would be hard is the kids who are constantly growing. It'd be hard to have gear for them all the time that fits
is.
properly.
Yeah.
The thing that is, though, it's better to have things that are too big.
Yeah.
Like, if
Yeah,
they were
that's
to wear
true.
extras of ours, it would be better to wear things that are too big rather than too small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think in that event, because yes, the kids are still growing, especially the boys.
But then Colin can just wear Charlie's old stuff too.
Yeah, and then Char can just wear your old things, and I mean it's like the hand-me-downs and things
Yeah.
like that. So, but yeah, I always think about that too. But it's better to
Well, yeah.
grow
and if
into
they're, I mean, depending on the situation, we can all just share things too. Because
Goodwill,
Char's about,
baby.
yeah, Char
Yep.
and Liv can share with us.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, absolutely. So I agree.
nice.
Transportation.
Oh, transportation. I mean, the biggest thing I could think of is just reliable cars, and I didn't really think about the fuel being a problem until you guys brought it up. So, but that would be problematic. We've already been over that. I don't really have any other original ideas on that other than like, Dad's car, the van. We have so many cars. I think cars are the number one, but also like if we needed like bikes or scooters or like anything like that.
I would
Honestly.
rock
You just never
a razor.
know.
A razor.
Yeah.
Little tail whip.
But
Yep.
we're hoping that we can just shelter in place and not really have to go
Mm.
anywhere. So I think that's the biggest hope. Like we have things that we need. We
Yeah.
have garages, but hopefully we don't need to evacuate.
Even having like the kayak at the cabin.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the rowboat at the
yeah,
cabin,
rowboat,
yeah,
Piece of plywood.
Yeah.
so much
We've
wood.
done it.
The plank.
The blank.
Yeah.
We've done it.
We're good.
Oh, that's funny.
Take
yeah,
it away, sis.
no, mine are. I was just gonna preface it by saying, Chris was an aircraft mechanic in the Air Force
Yeah.
for years.
Oh yeah.
He
Yeah.
rebuilds his cars. I mean, from bottom up. If we have the fuel, like we could have running cars in the event of an apocalypse for however
Yeah.
long, just with
Yeah.
his knowledge
Yeah,
alone.
all of our guys in our family have a
Yes.
lot of car knowledge.
Absolutely.
And I mean, more than cars, boats, aircrafts, all that kind of stuff.
And then, when it comes to fuel, my first thought is bikes as well. I think of like the bikes when we were little, when Dad would pull us in that little enclosure thing with that little like net that you
Oh,
could
yeah.
open and
Oh, yeah.
close. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know what they're called, but I'm hoping I'm describing it well
Yeah.
enough. We all would sit in there and you could zip us in and we'd be on the back, but you could put your gear in there or
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
like a kid in
People
there.
do that. If they're doing like trips, on their bike.
Oh yeah, or even even people who are unhoused. I mean, that's
Oh,
it's
true,
a
yeah.
great way to keep your supplies safe and with you at all times. So it would be that could be something that you could do, or use it for its intended purpose of transporting a kid as well. I think throw Colin back there; he's good.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't need to ride his own bike unless he wants to.
Yeah.
But that was really all I had for transportation. But it's cool that you bring up the boats, kayaks, skiing in the winter, or cross country skiing in the winter, or snowshoeing. Like, there's a lot of alternatives that would work. But we do all have nice cars that are reliable, and I think that's the biggest deal as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
The next one's kind of redundant. We kind of already talked about it, but evacuation route. What would your evacuation route look like if you had to leave?
Yeah, I mean, it really depends. I've kind of shifted to where at Whidbey, so I don't know. Honestly, I don't know because I feel like maybe the boat, honestly. Like, if it was, I don't know. It really depends because the only threat, I think, would be coming from further on the island, not from the mainland, if that makes sense. So I wouldn't necessarily want to go up on Whidbey, if that makes sense. So maybe the boat, or even just a kayak down further on the beach, or I don't know. You could honestly just kayak to the mainland or somewhere else, but that'd be sketchy.
Yeah. Well, but how would you get there, point A to point B, here to there? What would your route be?
Here
Like,
to Whidbey?
yeah.
Oh, okay, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
Okay.
like how would you get there?
Probably in a car.
And all the
Well,
people.
sure, but what about all the people? If everyone else is trying to
Okay, I
evacuate as
gotcha.
well?
I would wait, like you said, and
Yeah.
then just
Yeah.
wait for it to die down. But I'd want a vehicle that I could go off-roading in. And I mean, worst case, I'm gonna hit some people on the way, and that's just
Ram 'em.
Yeah,
Take
I
some
mean,
people out,
and I
yeah.
almost brought up a vehicle as a weapon earlier because
You know what,
Honestly,
though?
it could be
it's a
like
good one.
Put some
Dad's
spikes on the
truck.
front.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, I get you now. Yeah, that's my plan. Just wait it out and then drive over there, and hopefully it's still okay over there.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
my plan would be the same. I would just gather everybody here, gather all of our supplies, try to shelter in place. Maybe even like send out some kind of scout first to see what the area is like.
okay.
Like, because if we're having to go into Whidbey from like Oak Harbor or like a different entrance than we're used to, then we're gonna have to see how many people are leaving or if people are going there. Because
Yeah.
if that's
Right.
everybody else's idea too, then that's not gonna work. But if people are leaving the island and we actually have a fair way in, or what if they like close it off for some reason? Like, you never know where the threat is coming from, or like,
Or if the traffic is stopped on there, how do you get over?
Yeah, so I think it might be good to scout it out first, and then once it's like safe, then we send out groups of people at a time probably and get over there, you know, kind of divvying up supplies and the cars and getting people over there as effectively as possible, but safely. I think we just gather and protect our base and go from there.
I think that's something that I didn't think about was a scout, because that's a great idea of, you know, so you're over there and now what? What are we looking at
My fantasy
realistically?
books teach me a lot, actually.
Wow, good thing you read them.
Not just fairies getting it on.
Thank
More
God.
than that.
Oh my God. Okay. So anyway, like I said earlier, evacuation isn't my top priority either. I think waiting for the chaos to settle is my plan unless we're forced to leave. In which case, you grab what you can, you meet your people, and you meet at a predetermined place, and like a library, a store, or other shelter. And then you kind of go from there of like, okay, we're here, we're safe. What's the plan? You know, and so that's kind of my evacuation route as well. But I do like the idea of a scout as well, and like checking the area before you go out. So
Even though it would be horrifying to think of sending somebody to do that or being the one to do that on your own. Maybe a group of scouts.
Yeah,
like whoever
like
feels
Chris Anthony.
willing.
Yeah, they'll check
That'd
it
be
out.
so
Three
scary to
amigos,
send
yeah.
anybody though to go
Well, of course,
scout
but
that out.
well, of course it is.
I think send the least amount you could. I think a two-person team would be
That's
good.
true.
For sure.
I think radios would be
Oh yeah, isn't that a
top
topic in
priority.
here?
Oh.
Communication.
It
Is that next?
No,
always getting ahead of myself.
you're just so
Sorry.
prepared.
Leads into
Sorry.
the other.
You're
That was
so
good.
prepared.
My brain is working.
She's alive.
The next one is a go bag. What
Yeah.
are the essentials that you have ready to go?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so this is where I got ahead of myself with the evacuation plan. This is kind of what I thought you were talking about with that.
Oh, sure.
So yeah, I would have my biggest backpack. I would have food for sure. You know, food, medical supplies. Am I talking about the right things? Is this okay?
Yes, you are. Just
When
the
he's
snorting.
noises or
Extra
what.
clothing, stuff we've already talked about. I think
Yeah.
weapons, ammo. If I have it. I don't know, just like a smaller, compact version of the shelter, what we have in there. But I mean, hopefully stuff for at least a couple days. You know.
Yeah.
It's hard to fit all that in one bag,
It
though.
is. Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, you have to be really like picky about what
Yeah.
you choose.
I think just having like clothing is going to be, I don't know, undervalued in this scenario
Yeah,
because like if you're like walking, you need to change your socks a lot, and that's gonna be one of the biggest things is just having changes of clothing and and then obviously just medical supply and food and whatnot, fish hooks and stuff and
Yeah.
matches and yeah, whatever you can spare though. It's just gonna be tough to
Fit it all.
and decide like
Yeah.
if we all have a go bag, how are we gonna split up supplies to where we can still have stuff that we can
Right.
use right now in
Yeah.
the shelter. Like it's
Yeah.
gonna be tough. Even stuff like plastic bags are so versatile. Like
So useful.
That's true.
yeah,
So useful because you can keep, your clean water in there
Mhm.
if you need to. You can keep extra. Like, it is just so useful for so many things.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel like in my go bag, yeah, just like what you were saying, I would try to get my biggest like backpack or something, which I don't even have a good backpack, honestly. That's that would be something that I would have to figure out in the moment. But yeah, probably just like try to bring any of the like lightweight snacks and stuff that I talked about, like protein powders and liquid IVs and stuff like that I could throw in that are not super heavy but are also going to be like long lasting. Couple of your life straws would do very well in there.
She's taking your things, Cars. What are you gonna
We're
do?
sharing. We're sharing.
I don't know.
And then yeah, just like medical supplies, I guess. Anything that we've got. Yeah, it's hard to think of what all you would prioritize in that moment, because obviously it would be like food and medical supplies, but then it's like, yeah, I wouldn't even think about extra socks or something, you know? Like, obviously I would want to bring like extra clothes, but in the moment it's like I could survive off of these clothes if that was the last, you know,
Right.
thing
yeah,
I
you
needed.
could.
So I don't know. It's just
These socks are far too thin to
Yeah.
survive in long term.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're just getting from point A to point B with your go bag though.
Right.
My grow bag.
Your grow bag.
Yeah, I think with a go bag, it's like, all right, bro, like,
The
you
essentials.
gotta get out
Yeah.
of here. Like,
Yeah.
stuff's gone, you know, nothing's gone to plan. And so, but
Yeah.
also, if you can, a tent would be nice.
Right.
Even just like a one person, or just like a tarp, and then some sort of sleep system, like sleeping bag or
Yeah, that's
blanket.
true. One of those blankets from Costco that kind of wads up.
Yeah. Like, not aluminum. What am I thinking? Like the.
Packable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you're
Like,
talking about, but I don't know what the
The
material
squish
is.
down.
Like
Yeah.
the puffer jacket
Yeah,
type
yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are good.
That one is always downstairs ready for me to grab.
Yeah, mine's in my car.
Yeah, I think mine
That's-
is too.
yeah.
Yep. All right,
My
sis.
turn?
Yeah, what do you have for us?
Well,
Your bag
I
is
offer
gonna be
quite a bit.
extensive.
Oh, yeah.
So here's the thing. I can be ready in the event of an apocalypse in like 2 seconds because
Yeah.
if I had to be ready, my car is already packed.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
I could live out of my car for 2 weeks. I have my sleeping bag, I have a pillow, I have emergency food, I have medicine, I
You have a pillow in
have
there?
Huh?
You have a pillow in there?
Sure do.
Full size pillow?
Not full size. It's like
Oh.
a couch size pillow.
Oh, okay.
But it's still a pillow. I also have toilet paper, wipes. It's an issue. Chris Chris was like, we need to talk about your trunk. Because I have a little bit of anxiety and paranoia, so I cope with that by being prepared for any event.
I think that's a very healthy way to
hence,
cope.
Yeah.
Hence why my purse is packed and my car is packed. So if we had those two things alone, we would be
good.
set for a little bit. We'd be okay.
Yeah.
But if I had the time, you know, I would pack the necessities such as, you know, medicine, clothing. I also think a huge thing, which it takes up a lot of space, but pillows and blankets go a long way.
That's true.
And we have so many of those in our house, just like with our guest room and stuff like that. And I just am a blanket collector apparently, so I have so
That's
many.
good.
But also, you know, like I said, I have the sleeping bag in my car, but we also have like 4 more at the shop, in Chris's shop, and then we have the tents and the backpacks are up there, and those are already packed with like some emergency supplies that Keith put in there from when he gave them to us.
Yeah.
And they have these little booklets of like safe plants to eat and like
Nice,
just
yeah.
you know, just random things that you wouldn't necessarily think of. But yeah, I think also I value hygiene and toiletries and products like that as well, and I've got a lot of travel size things like that in my emergency, you know, pile. Things like, you know, just a toothbrush and toothpaste can make you feel so much cleaner.
Oh my gosh,
And
yeah.
so just products like that, I have a lot, and I keep, you know, a lot of those things in various areas in case of emergency. So yeah, I think we'd be set.
Totally.
Yeah. Again, I think I was thinking about the wrong thing. I was thinking about if we were already in the apocalypse. And
I was wondering
That
if that's
go
where you
bag.
went. Okay.
So I think mine would be the same, but I would just know. I know what I have right
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
and it'd be similar. The same things, just maybe different amount.
Yeah.
I don't know how much I would prioritize, like hygiene stuff, like you would. I mean, yeah. If I had the room, I'd throw in toothbrush, toothpaste, deodorant, some
Yeah.
body wash or soap or something. But
Yeah.
I only mention it because it's in there already, so
Yeah,
it's like a
might as
bonus.
well.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and on top of that, I've got like granola bars and like, you know, just non-perishable items that, I mean, not a lot of them, but enough to where if I needed to eat something,
Yeah.
then I would have something to eat.
Yeah.
I also have those Daiso like fake knockoff Birkenstock shoes, so I always have those in there as
Yeah.
well if I
Yeah.
ever need an
Oh
extra
my
pair of
gosh,
shoes.
That's amazing.
that's
And
good.
I have a pair of gloves and socks and just
Yeah,
random
extras.
stuff that it's
Yeah.
like in an emergency, would I need this?
Yeah.
Or like a hat, you know, just
Yeah.
things like that. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
good.
No, I kept this in my trunk for a long time, and usually anytime I take a road trip, I'll throw it in there. But I think I do have not like a go bag, but an emergency bag just full of medical supplies and MREs and tools and whatnot.
smart.
Yeah, and so, but I think the bulk of it would be medical supplies and food, and
Yeah.
but shoes are good to have, and cold weather gear too, just nighttime.
I also have jumper cables and chains for my car in
Wow.
there too.
That's good.
So
You have a lot of room in your trunk.
and I have
It is
Well, not
Very
anymore, I
roomy.
guess, but
certainly
You did
not.
have a
Anytime we
lot
go to
of-
Costco, I'm like, well, the back seat's gonna be
Yeah.
filled because the trunk is full.
car. That's funny.
I also have a kite and I
Thank God.
have a camping chair
Why do you have a
back
kite?
there.
in case
What
it's
if-
a windy day.
What if we both? This is my train of thought. This is why I need to seek therapy. Is I think, what if, for some reason, the world ends when we're driving in our car and we just need to feel something? What if we?
Or like
And we're with the kids
tell
and they
someone the
need something.
location that we're
like,
at. I would think
Actually,
of like
yeah.
a flare. Like, this is where we are. Help. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a good. See, now that's rational. My thought is.
We just need to feel something.
my thought is, what if we're with the kids and like we're trying to distract them from the horribleness
Yeah.
of what's
Oh.
happening?
That's actually a good idea.
Let's fly a kite. God damn it, please! Like,
Because if we're gonna die here, at least we're dying with our kite.
we're not dying. I have enough supplies. We'll be fine.
My awesome kite.
Yeah. That's so funny.
So anyway, yeah, let's move on, shall we?
Yeah.
Allies. Who would you trust?
Chris's dad.
God, Keith is your resource right now.
Yes, he has a
He's
lot
gonna need to
of
listen to this
knowledge.
episode. He's
Yeah.
gonna think it's so funny.
He's like, who's that girl? He doesn't even know me.
He knows you.
No, he
He's like, oh, McKenna. He calls you the wrong name.
Oh, Madeni.
Gosh, definitely. I mean, maybe you guys. Maybe. No,
Maybe.
I'd say obviously the family.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can trust this one right here.
Yeah,
She's
Kiki's gonna steal my stuff, so I don't know.
Your life straws are my life straws.
Yeah,
You
I
said you
don't
have
know
a ton of
life straws.
them. I think we're good.
yeah, you're right. I shouldn't have flexed all of them. I don't know. I think I have a good amount. Like I wouldn't want us to have so many people.
Yeah.
no.
I'd want us, and then if there's a way to know what my friends are doing, like what their plan is or how they're doing, I think a handful of them I could see.
A couple of them are on my list too.
I would trust Zachy Poo with
I
my
was gonna
life.
say Zach. I feel like
Nico.
would actually be very helpful.
Neeks
and
would be a
Nico.
good one.
He's got the army training too.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
I don't
does.
really know who else though would be like a super good asset to the team. Like a lot of them are just like really physically fit, which
Yeah.
is good. But like
And have military
what are you
training.
bringing?
I mean, you
Oh,
guys.
Dylan?
Dylan,
Dylan
yeah.
would be insane.
Any
He's
of
a
your-
ranger.
He could get those snakes for us.
You're right. He does. He catches snakes.
Catches rattlesnakes.
Yeah.
For what?
He's done it since he was like 4. I have a video of him when he was 4.
Okay, I have to see
The
that.
rattlesnake.
That's
I'll
crazy.
find it. It's so cute. But yeah, he's like a little 4-year-old Dylan.
I had a dream that snakes were biting me last night. I just remembered that.
Good.
Big yellow snakes, like from the
Yellow?
jungle.
Oh, snakes.
Right on my hands.
Like a python?
Snakes.
Pythons,
I
like,
know no snakes.
aren't pythons like, they're,
I don't know.
they
anything
suffocate
about-
you, right? Rather than
makes
eat
sense.
you?
Think
No,
so.
they eat you. They bite too.
Oh, you're talking about a boa constrictor.
Yeah, I'm talking about constrictor.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever the alligator man brought in,
I
or the
think that's a
reptile man
constrictor,
brought
the one
in.
that you're thinking
Yeah,
of.
a big yellow one.
Yes.
It bit my hands 3 times yesterday in my dream. And they told me that I would be fine. I was just going to have diarrhea. And I was like, hey, I can handle that. That was it.
Jeez.
So, yeah.
I mean, if that's the worst you get.
It was fine, yeah. Hurt a
Yeah.
little bit.
I think, yeah, as far as allies go, I don't think I would be reaching out to many people. I
No,
think there
yeah.
are a handful of people that I'm like, oh, they'd be really good, but I don't know. I think most
you-
people are just going to worry about their families.
I was going to say, then you have to think about, like, if we want to include your
Yeah.
friends, then they're gonna be there for their families,
Yeah,
first
yeah,
of
yeah.
all. So
Yeah.
I think the people that we have, we're set with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we have a very good crew. Like, just with all of our family members, I think we'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I have. I literally just said, I don't trust anyone else.
Yeah.
And,
That's good.
and our family brings so many different skills, and
Uh-huh.
our immediate family is so big that
Yeah.
it's. I just think it would be like our own little compound,
Yeah.
and I think
Yep.
we'd be set. We wouldn't really need anyone else.
I think we have a lot of allies if we want to meet up with people
Yeah.
at some point.
Sure, yeah.
Like, that's awesome, but it's not like they have to be a part of our immediate party necessarily.
Yeah, that's why I think it'd be cool to like know what
Yeah,
people
where they
are
are.
doing, where they're
Yeah.
going. Yeah.
Well, I don't know how many more you guys want to do. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 more. Do you
Oh,
want to
wow.
keep going, or
Up to you guys. We have
I think we
almost. We have about an
so-
hour and
so
20
much.
minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we should.
But I mean, if there's any like,
What about
what do you think
communication?
we haven't
I
talked
think
about
communication
yet?
would be a good one.
okay, yeah.
So I'll just tell you guys what the last 4 are, and we can just kind of address them,
Yeah.
like in one response, maybe. So the last 4 are skills, sustainability, communication, and mental
yeah.
fortitude.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think we can address that.
Yeah, I feel like we've talked about most of that.
Yeah.
Skills, especially, I think is.
Yeah, why don't you wrap up? Like, we can each wrap up our own skill set and
Oh.
sustainability and stuff.
What do you mean by sustainability? Like, how are we gonna do this long term? Or
Yeah. Or, like, how
maybe
do our
someone else should
skills
start
help?
because I feel like I keep getting the wrong.
Oh, no, you're good. So
Okay.
I'll start.
Okay.
I think with all of us together, we'd be able to sustain for a long time because we'd have our plant grower, Mackenzie, and then we have our our hunter gatherers. We have our like not homemakers, but you know,
Yeah.
people to care for the kids in the home and our comfort and things like washing clothes and
Yeah.
you know, I mean,
Yeah.
I think we just have everyone on every part of the spectrum that you can think of when you think of a compound or, you know, if you think of a stereotypical type of apocalyptic movie, there's usually someone for everything.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so I think we meet that. And the other thing is, I think if we had the right shelter in general, I think that would also keep us going for a long time because if we didn't have proper rest and proper warmth, that would be
Detrimental.
very detrimental to our health and well-being, which is, you know, long term, you got to keep that up. So having a good place to sleep and stay warm is going to be everything, but, you know, you can kind of build on the other necessities from there. So, and then as far as communication goes, I really only feel like I need to communicate with you guys, but it would be nice to have a radio for updates.
Yeah.
And as far as mental fortitude, being with you guys is
Yeah.
everything. I also think that we all have a lot of books, and I think that would be a great way to keep our mental health and well-being, you know, on the up rather than,
Yeah.
you know, going down. So, and then the last thing I would like to say is my biggest skill that I have been waiting to say is that I can crochet, because this is so useful in so many situations. Not only can I make blankets and clothes and baskets, but I can also make nets for
Yeah.
fishing
Oh,
and
yeah.
trapping.
True.
And you can make, I mean, you can use so many materials to crochet with, so and so many different stitches for different needs.
Yeah.
So I think that would be my biggest skill is, and that also addresses the needs of growing children, where if I had the yarn,
Yeah.
I could make them clothes that
It's
fit them.
so true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I bring to the table,
Love it.
and I thank you for considering me as your zombie apocalypse partner.
Yeah, that was really good. I had a lot of ideas when we were talking. I think, and now they've all gone away, but
I'm sorry.
I think movies like A Quiet Place are really good at this. Like, I think
Yes.
with the roles and kind of like the rules, like, and also Maze Runner, like,
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I like rules or like established procedures and stuff, and also like generalized roles. Like, it doesn't have to be like, hey, you have to do this, but like
Yeah,
it's
it can
kind of
rotate.
what. Yeah, like everyone has to carry their own weight too,
Yeah.
and provide some sort of, I don't know, skill. But I think communication can be. I think of A Quiet Place when they turn on the red. Have you guys seen it? Yeah,
Yeah.
we
Oh,
all
yeah.
watched it.
It's been a long time, but
They turn on the red lights for emergency.
Oh yeah.
If you remember that, and I think that's such a good, like, everyone knows what to do when the red lights
Yeah.
come on, and I think communication can be as simple as that, or even like flares or whatever. But radios would be nice, especially if you're thinking like of having people scouting and stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Communicate back and forth.
Yeah.
And then I think having like a guitar or something to where we can all play songs and sing,
Yeah.
and also being with each other, telling stories, and just
Oh, yeah.
thinking of happy times. Like, that's going to be crucial, especially for the kids and stuff.
Yeah,
and,
we all make things fun just being
yeah,
together.
and just being silly when we can. But yeah, I mean, I can't crochet. Maybe I can. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I could teach you.
I'm
We're
yeah,
gonna
I'm
have
definitely
time to learn, it sounds like.
definitely haven't ever tried it, but it's something that I think would be cool. I think I think in this time we would all obviously spend a lot of time together, and we'd all maybe like hold little classes or just show
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
survival skills or just skills in general, like even cooking and
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah,
or
but
distilling water.
yeah.
Yeah,
Also, I think you should wrap up with your skill set though of like.
I don't know. I feel like I've
You're-
talked about it. I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't really wrap up
That's
with
true.
the skill set. I just said thanks
Yeah.
for considering me.
Yeah, no, I think that it's just important that you mentioned that crocheting would also be a crucial skill that you offer, like, because we each like kind of have like our own skill set of like Emma's like, you know, prepared in a lot of ways and can crochet, and Cars
That's
has
it.
like I just mean like those are the biggest like differing things between
Yeah.
all of us.
No,
is
for
that-
sure. I'm just
Yeah, we all have
joking.
such a different skill set, but
Yeah.
it's just cool to share all of that.
Yeah, I feel like I have gotten to talk about it enough.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think if we do have maps available, that's definitely one of my strong suits is land nav.
okay.
So
That's great, because I can't tell up from down
No, I'm
on
the
those
same
things.
way.
So
I don't know how we got to the places we got to.
Great
yeah.
question.
So that's definitely, I don't know, something I enjoy.
Yeah.
Well, that's great.
Thank you.
Yeah, I guess I would just echo all of this. Like, communication definitely would be very important. Just having like radios or walkie-talkies and things like that for people who are maybe outside of the home base, and then people who are in here. I think having specific roles and responsibilities is important too. Like having like everybody have little chores and duties and stuff to keep all the wheels turning. Like, having just people do things around the house, things, you know, to continue security around the house, just all the different things. And sustainability wise, I think, like you guys were saying, as long as we all like have an established, like, you know, thing that we're working towards, we'll all make it very far into
Yeah.
any kind of apocalypse with the type of setup that we have. But yeah, I think all just being together and all just trying to get through it all together, I think we'll all just keep each other's mental strength strong. I don't know how to put that, but yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And you made me think of another point is like I think we would want to have someone stay up, like one person on night shift.
Yeah, I think that's a
I
good
think
idea
that'd be
too.
really important.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely have people inside the house working at all times and doing stuff, and then people thinking of greater picture kind of stuff too, and
Yeah.
yeah.
And that made me think the communication between who's on guard versus how we communicate that to the people at the base, right?
Yeah,
Like, what does that look like? Are we flashing a flashlight? Are we
Yeah.
are we
Right.
sending flares up in the air? I mean, what does that look like? So
or
that's
what kind of system can we have where we send some kind of message, like I don't know.
like updates.
Yeah.
The hourly update.
Yeah, exactly. Like an all clear signal or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
just
think-
things to think about for sure.
Yeah, and even having like I had mentioned the electric fence. I think having like a sound, like
yeah.
a not like tripwire, but I don't know,
Yeah.
to where if,
Siren.
yeah, something, or like pots and pans like attached to a wire if someone crosses it.
Oh,
It'll
yeah, that's
alert
true.
us. Yeah, I don't know.
Or
Lots to
even,
think
like,
about.
My classroom doorbell. Someone rings the doorbell.
Well,
and that
that's like a
goes off.
battery too. That's great.
It's a battery
Yeah.
powered thing. It does have to plug into the wall, but yeah.
Oh.
So one of them does. I'm sure there are other kinds that don't, but
Yeah.
But yeah. Another skill that I forgot to mention is that I know how to make bread and a lot of like
Now
True.
that
things like that are just like sustainable kind of things. As long as we have yeast, I can make a great wealth of things.
Well, and I think you and mom and being teachers, like,
Yeah.
it's going to be good for the kids to continue their education as much as they can, you know, like, obviously this is going to be a great experience for them. Like, it's going to happen, but they're going to learn so much day to day
Yeah.
for, like, surviving. But, like, if this does end, like, they want to, I don't know,
Yeah.
not be stuck at the education level that they were at, you know, like, learn
Yeah.
algebra and stuff like
Yeah,
that. I think
it's
that's
true.
useful.
I mean, yeah, just to build up our mental fortitude or whatever.
Yeah.
It's going to be very helpful.
I'm acting like we're
Absolutely.
going on a trip or
Yeah,
something.
I
Like,
know.
this trip's going to be so
is
good.
this apocalypse starts tomorrow. I hope you guys are
Yeah.
ready.
Should we start our packing list?
What if it does start tomorrow, though?
That's crazy.
Let's not
We're
put that
so
into the
prepared for
universe.
it, though.
I mean, we are. I would need to go to the shop and get everything and then
Yeah.
pack up the Forerunner. But Chris is really good at packing everything into
Oh, yeah.
one spot. Like, I don't know how he does it. He is, like, his mind just fits it all in.
It's like
and
a puzzle.
so, huh?
Yeah.
Puzzle.
It is, but it's like, I don't know how he does that. I'm always very impressed. I just give him my things and then it's perfectly in there.
Yeah.
And we have
Love
plenty
that.
of space and he can still see out the back
Yeah.
window, you know? And so, anyway, I know, like, we'd be set. The only
Yeah.
issue I would have is Leo, my cat, would have to become an outside kitty. And that cat is not meant for the outdoors. Like Jasper, I can put him on my chest, but Leo,
You just walk him on a leash.
Yeah. I know the animals would be hard because, like, what about Kylo and Combi and Leto and Doobie? And the cats at
That would be
mom's.
so tough.
can you
I
imagine?
kind of
We
feel
just
like
put him in the yard.
Mush.
open the door. Like, good luck.
Yeah, like, I mean,
Which is horrible. You're
Okay.
gonna just
No.
let them
So
fend for themselves.
No, but like how they're gonna.
Combi would be pretty useful.
Combi would be, but like if you think
Our
about
sled dog.
barking
Yeah.
dogs,
Yeah, no, Leto can't come.
Leto, they would
And
be
Doobie.
detrimental.
Then Haley would not come.
Yeah.
I don't
Oh,
know.
man.
I mean, obviously, I'd want to bring Winnie with me and have her be like with me on everything. But the barking,
I'd
could
rather
be
die.
Really hard.
I think having the
Ugh,
cats would be so good for the kids, though.
yeah.
The cats?
Yeah.
Cats are pretty
And they're not gonna
harmless,
make
yeah.
much noise.
No, they're resilient.
Love
Plus,
my baby with my whole heart, but like, what do we do about her barking?
well, muzzle baby.
Yeah.
I don't know if that'll stop her.
And
She's sitting
that's
here
also
whining
more
the whole
food
time. Mm-hmm.
that we have to get, more water, resources.
Well, I'm not
I
leaving
don't
them
like
behind,
this
so.
segment.
Anyway, yeah, we'll talk about it when it comes.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Well, with that being said, who would you want on your zombie apocalypse team? Let us know by commenting or voting. I'm sure we'll put like a poll up or something, but
Yeah.
Carson will do that because
Okay.
he's good at that. So comment or vote. I expect me to win, but we'll see. So thanks for listening to another episode of Relatively Funny. We appreciate you spending some time with us today, and we'll talk to you next week.